Well, guys, it's that time. We got to talk about just some terrible stocks that people are buying out there. And unfortunately, like it normally is the case, there are some retail favorites on this list, and we've actually added a couple new stocks to our list as well. So I don't think I've ever talked about these on my channel. If I have, it's been a long, long time. So let's talk about all those today and kick up a little bit of controversy too. I mean, why not? Right after you gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype. All right, guys, so like always, there's no judgment here. There's no, oh, you're dumb forever buying these stocks. Nothing else like that at all. And anybody that ever does that to you, you know that they haven't been invested for any length of time, or they don't invest at all, because even Warren Buffett has mistake stocks. He's made mistakes on stocks. He's bought stocks he shouldn't have bought. And if that guy can do it, being, basically the greatest investor of all time, there is no way all of us aren't going to avoid fitting in that same exact category. And it's not like he's just done it once and that was it. He's done it lots and lots and lots of times. So if that happens to him, it happens to me. It's going to happen to you guys out there too. You guys know I bought GE at the, basically the bottom of the financial crisis. Should have been a great call, because anything you bought at that time went to the moon after that, especially over, from then until now. Should have made a fortune, and instead it went absolutely nowhere. Out of all the stocks I could have picked, I picked one that just, went nowhere, was a dead stock when you literally could have thrown money at anything and it made money. And of course, I picked one, threw a lot of money at it, and it's gone absolutely nowhere during this time frame. So it's not like I made bad picks this year, I made bad picks last year. It's going to happen at some point in time. Now, it may not manifest itself this year. It may manifest itself next year, and future years. But nonetheless, I have them. You guys are going to have them. We're all going to have them. So there's no judgment here, but I felt like we kind of needed to discuss these stocks so you can take a hard look if you do own them or you're thinking about owning them before you jump in on these stocks. So stock number one would be bankrupt stocks, guys. And I don't understand the play here. I don't understand why it's a thing. Ever since the kind of Hertz thing kind of popped off, now all of a sudden everybody wants to try to, play bankrupt stocks. Now, sure, maybe there's a trade there. Maybe there's some sort of arbitrage. I have no idea at all. But I've had folks legitimately buy a bankrupt stock and then try to convince me that it's going to be a great long-term buy and I'm getting it on a steal deal discount. It's going to be 100x, 1000x, whatever. And guys, there's a reason why the stock went bankrupt. It wasn't just short sellers screwing you or Wall Street screwing you or anything else. Normally, it's bad product, incompetent management, a lot of other things that are fundamentally flawed and wrong with the business as to why it went under. So, okay, if you want to trade, fine. I'm not a trader, so I can't speak to the bankruptcy trade, which is a very, very niche within a niche of, day trading or swing trading or whatever the heck you're trying to do. But beyond that, probably one out of every 200 or every 500 companies that, files for bankruptcy actually somehow comes out of it a great long-term buy on the other end of a bankruptcy. It happens, but I mean, I don't need to make those sorts of guesses and take on those sorts of odds to get a great stock at a great price. You just don't have to do that. So I don't understand the play here. I don't understand all the momentum, all the noise around bankrupt stocks and people trying to play these games with it. I mean, it's just kind of like the meme stock craze and a lot of the other things like that. It's just one of those deals. Sure, maybe I'm the old guy that just doesn't get it anymore. Fine, I'm perfectly okay with that. But I know for a long-term buy and hold investor, I would steer clear of any stock that's a bankruptcy stock. And that would be bankruptcy stock if I could talk, guys. And stock number two would be Lucid. And you guys know my thoughts on Lucid. I mean, from the day, you guys remember when it was CCIV, if you can remember back that far, back when it was a SPAC and it was all the rage. It's going to the moon. It's the next Tesla. I'm an idiot for not buying it. I probably need to go pull up that whole video and actually read through the comments again to, see how many people thought I was really, really dumb for not wanting any part of that stock at all. It's just crazy times, and I didn't think it was a value then. I don't think it's a value now. I'm not sure if it's necessarily going to go bankrupt. They have great backing, but nonetheless, I don't think they're going anywhere for a really, really long time. They're doing a hard thing, and they're at the hardest part. Prototyping isn't the hard part. Getting a car out there and in production isn't the hard part. It's scaling. It's getting that production out to scale. And oh, by the way, we are coming into a slowdown in the economy. Don't know if we're going to see a deep recession. I don't think we are, but we're going to see some sort of a slowdown of some sort. And that's usually not a good time to be trying to launch a luxury vehicle, which Lucid is absolutely a luxury vehicle. So you kind of factor a lot of those things in, problems ramping in production, and also dwindling demand because of the economic realities of what's going on right now. And that's just not a stock I want any part of anytime soon. Now, maybe things turn around. I think there's some potential there. Like I said, they have good backing. But beyond that, there isn't a whole lot that makes me think this stock is going anywhere anytime soon, or more importantly, worth the risk. That backing can be pulled. That backing has been pulled from other, that backing entity has pulled backing from other stocks in the past, or other companies that have stocks in the past, and basically said, hey, no more. We're not supporting the losing endeavor anymore. And who's to say that can't happen again? If that happens again, Lucid's in a lot of trouble. So we all know they're already diluting shareholders. They're already doing a lot of things to raise capital and get themselves out of it. And unfortunately, they're doing it at a time when the stock price is just beaten down. So I just don't think it's one of these stocks that to me is worth it right now. Even if it goes on a hype run, hey, guess what? I was an idiot for not buying the hype run back when it was at $80 or something crazy like that. So, I'll just be an idiot this time too. So stock number 3 is Carvana, and I'm not going to beat up on this one much, guys. I've beat up on the past. I understand it's been on like this crazy run that really makes not a lot of sense because it's based on nothing fundamental or anything else with the business. And please, if you think there is something fundamental there, please put actual numbers down at the bottom. And I mean in regards to what it's trading at as opposed to its price to sales. When are they going to turn a profit? When they do turn a profit, what is going to be the actual multiple that Wall Street's going to assign to it, and how that correlates with the revenue growth, and all those sort of questions like that, because I just don't see it no matter what happens. I don't make decisions based upon stock price movements because I'm not a trader. If you're trading it, fine. There may be a trade there. I have no idea. I'm not looking at it from that perspective. I'm looking at it from the perspective of a long-term buy and hold investor. And if they can't make a bunch of money during the greatest bull market of all time in used car prices, how the heck are they going to make a profit when we're in the time period right now where we're not going to be in the greatest used bull market of all time for used cars? That's one. And two, interest rates are going to be higher. We may never see 0% again in regards to that market. So not only is financing going to be more expensive and they couldn't turn a profit, now all of a sudden the market's going to cool off. Car prices are going to continue to come down. I just don't see, and if they couldn't profit during those high times, how the heck are they going to make a lot of money for us as shareholders now? I just don't see it. Maybe there's something else there, but please give me the bull case down there in the comments if you're bullish on it. But otherwise, beyond a trade, this just isn't a stock for me at all as a long-term buy and hold investor. All right, so now we're on to the controversial part of our list. I know I'm prepared. I'm prepared for the comment section to just turn into a battle of some sort down there, and that's okay. You guys know I got to be upfront with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to shy away from certain things like that. I just got to be upfront and forward. And these stocks to me are just, they're not there. And a couple of these are actually new stocks that I'm not sure I've ever talked about on this channel, or if I have, it's been a long, long time since I have. So next up, we have GameStop, and I'm sorry guys, the ultimate squeeze is just not happening. It's just not. There's no way, even if it was going to happen, there's not enough money in the world. The Fed, is the only entity that could print enough money to actually pay for that ultimate squeeze. Companies are just going to file bankruptcy that have those shorts out there, and they're going to turn around and open up shop the very next day underneath a different name and move right on without having to take care of any of that. So I don't understand the play here beyond that. And a lot of you guys were kind of discussing the stock specifically in the comments of another video, and you made some great points. To me, GameStop feels much more like, the yesteryear Blockbuster than it does, anything that's cutting edge or moving forward or moving the industry forward or anything like that. Everything in the gaming industry is moving more and more online, more downloadable content. Obviously, content in terms of console games and things of that nature have moved online as well. So I'm not sure what their niche is there. I don't see any sort of long-term growth trajectory for GameStop being a viable business long-term. Now, maybe there's something else in the works. Awesome. But I know the price you're paying is an extreme premium, and that premium can only be based on the ultimate squeeze or whatever the heck the other noise that is out there with that. And I'm sorry, to me, it's just not happening. It doesn't mean it won't have another run up. It doesn't mean it won't do this or that. I don't care. I'm not a trader. I'm not interested in gambling. And, if you want to play that game, cool. Just understand what you're getting yourself into. And kind of right along those lines, let's discuss AMC next. Basically, everything I just said about GameStop, just basically apply it to AMC. Now, I'm talking about the stock. I do not think AMC is the next blockbuster because I think we will see people continue to go to the movies long term. Now, at the pace that they were doing at it, kind of before, everything kind of moved online and streaming started and all that sort of stuff, no. But that does not mean people are going to stop going to the movie theaters altogether as well. There is an experience there that you cannot replicate in your home, just being out, being social. So there is a place for AMC out there, but at these valuations, at these prices, given all the debt load and everything else that they've taken on and all the other craziness, like buying a gold mine or all the other ridiculous things like that management's done, it just doesn't make a lot of sense as a long-term business that's going anywhere. And any sort of valuation I put on it puts it well below the price it's at right now. And moving forward, I don't see where they're going to get the significant growth to justify a much higher valuation than that. So Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think they're going, the route of Blockbuster per se. But at the same point, any sort of price appreciation for me is strictly some sort of a hype run based upon that, the ultimate squeeze happening or whatever the noise is out there with that. So understand, not everybody agrees with that. A lot of folks are in the ape movement, a lot of other ones, which I love the movements themselves and what they're kind of trying to represent. Some of the noise and some of the hype that's around it was kind of where I got a lot of folks in trouble, and a lot of folks have lost a lot of money because of that. So for me, just not a stock right for me, my portfolio at all. And on to the final stock, and a stock I know I haven't talked about in at least 2 years, and that would be Workhorse. Look, I know it's another stock back during the EV craze that I spoke out against, saying I wouldn't do it if I were you, and I was just crazy for doing that. It was going to the moon because they're absolutely guaranteed to get the USPS contract, and that's just going to send them to the moon, and no matter how you skin this, no matter how you chose to do a valuation, even with the USPS contract, it could not justify the valuation it was given. And oh, by the way, let's forget about the fact that they didn't actually have the USPS contract on lockdown to begin with. And obviously that played out true. They didn't get it. What are you left with? You're left with a company that isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now. I'm sorry. I don't like any business that's dependent upon one contract, basically deciding their fate. And even if you have that one contract, if it goes away, what's the follow on? What's going to continue the growth into the future? What if you can't execute to that contract? What if they change their minds? Even though I know it's a government contract, those things can be amended. A lot of things can happen. So to me, just the short-term prospects were based upon one contract, and the long-term prospect was based upon nothing because there was absolutely nothing there. So nothing screams speculative like that. Nothing screams anything beyond a hype train at the time and everybody trying to catch the next hype train, whatever the heck it was. So that's one. Even today, even though I know it's a lot cheaper than it was back then, I still have no desire to own it because I just don't see any sort of a long-term trajectory there to profitability, much less actually a viable business that could justify a valuation that would make me a lot of money. And remember, if you want to avoid stocks like this and see all my buy and sell alerts in real time, see my watch list with price targets, take 5 courses for free, have access to the best Discord of 6 and 7 figure investors, and see my exclusive videos that I put out, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, and a ton more. Oh yeah, and you can slide into my DMs or, jump on our Q&As, catch me in the Discord too. Just more here than I could absolutely put out. Make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see the stocks I'm buying now, and click here if you want to see my exact plan for the market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.